out in USA and Canada, welcome to the show. Another episode, another evening, a very warm evening in Sri Lanka, and I understand that it's freezing cold in Canada, where my host is, where my guest is based right now. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about her beginning of the week, and remarkable woman has come a long way. She's been a former athlete to begin with. That's where her roots are. When she first started in Sri Lanka, then she moved on to netball, having played to represented the country, and from there, she moved on to various other aspects in life. Now a personal trainer, uh, weightlifter, mom, and super swimwear model, and all that what she has achieved in life. And to talk about all that, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dhashi Perera, and we'll see whether Dhashi is on standby. So let us bring her on. How are you, Dhashi? Good to have you on the show. How are you doing?
Good, Charith. How are you? I'm glad to be here today.
Good to have you. After it have been a task getting you behind the camera. That I've been talking to you since last year, I believe, and that you were always we had one thing or the other that they have been busy. The Then when you were free, that I had various other commitments going, and it's been a real roller coaster. To begin with, Dashi, are you still under lockdown in Canada?
Oh, yes. We have been in lockdown since last March. We had a small window during the summer, and then we went back into lockdown. So we are still in lockdown right now.
Oh, that's sad. That's a big hello to all those people who have tuned in. And I hope, that we are prompt, that we said 7:30 Sri Lanka time and very early morning. What time is it in Canada? It's 9:30? Oh.
It's 9 a.m. on Saturday.
All right, 9 a.m. So there are already 22 people. And hello, Deepa. And Deepa says, hello, Dashi. Good to have
Hi, Deepa.
She's been my co-host, and big thanks to Deepa for doing your video and your posters. She have been very, very helpful. And yeah, Dashi, tell us how challenging it was for your humble beginnings back home, being a track and field athlete, and then moving on and to what you have become in life. If you can take us, everyone who listens out there, I know it's a very inspiring story, and the challenges, the obstacles that you have to face during your long journey, and tell us all about it.
Okay, so just to summarize, I started my track and field career when I was at Ave Maria Convent Negombo, and thankfully I had great mentors, I had great teammates, I had great coaches. Unfortunately, I had to leave the country. I left and migrated to Canada in 1989 with my parents and siblings. But when I was at Ave Maria Convent, I got to experience all levels of sports. I've done inter-school to circuit to district to all island in track and field and netball. And my actually one goal was to be able to represent the country in sports, which I couldn't. I left when I was probably about 15 or 16 years old. And it was a bit devastating coming to a new country. I didn't know where to start or what to do. I didn't even know if Canada had netball to begin with. So my brother must have been 11 or 12. My sister, both younger to me, must have been 14. It was a struggle for us. We didn't know where to start. I thought my whole entire sports career was done. But thankfully, we met a bunch of Sri Lankans who were very helpful in getting me back into netball. And some of the coaches from the Ontario netball saw me and they wanted me to come and practice and play. When I was 17, I made the under 17 Ontario team, and when I was 21, I made the Canadian national team. Netball in Canada is not a huge sport,
Right.
so it's not something that you want to keep doing for the rest of your life. And I was also such an athlete. I wanted to do everything.
Sure.
Just netball wasn't enough. I wanted to play volleyball. I wanted to play badminton. I wanted to play rugby. I wanted to play football. I wanted to do everything. So I couldn't focus just on one sport. I kept doing many sports, which made me Jill of all trades and master of none.
Yeah, like some of us, yeah, trying to do too many things at the same time, yeah.
And
Jack of
of
all
course,
trades.
my dad. Sorry, Charith.
No, I said jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah.
Like you're just yeah.
Yeah. So
Go
my
on.
dad is of course a well-known table tennis player. He tried to get me to play table tennis, and like I said, I love all sports, but table tennis was not one of them for me.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I guess he was disappointed that none of us followed him in table tennis. But as I grew older, I played so many sports, but I also always enjoyed playing with the opposite sex because it challenged me.
Sure.
It challenged me. I had to do 100 times better than the guys. Even when I was playing in the netball team, both in Sri Lanka and in Canada, I was the shortest. I'm 5 feet. So
Really? Okay.
yeah. So I had to put 10 times the effort to prove myself. And I remember as a child, my dad taking me to watch these mercantile cricket games, netball games, and rugby tournaments, and I was just in awe. So I watched all these Sri Lankan players. Valerie Fernando was a huge role model for me. I always thought, oh my gosh, one day if I get to play with her, and my wish did come true. Valerie's in Canada. I got to play with her.
Right.
So that's how my sports went down. But as I grew older, like I said, I played many sports, and I had to put a lot of effort to prove myself because of my height and my size. People just totally underestimated me. And basically, to build my endurance, stamina, when I had to play volleyball, to practice my vertical jumps, I had to go to the gym to train myself, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I kept training myself on my own, and a lot of ladies in the gym, all I saw was women who did fitness competitions and bodybuilding competitions, and they kept pushing me, you should do bikini competitions, and I had no idea what these competitions were. So I said, oh yeah, I'll look into it. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna go wear a bikini and get on stage. That's not my thing. So
Yeah.
I was actually literally turning 40, and I was thinking, what have I accomplished at 40? I felt I had accomplished nothing. Other than, of course, I have a great husband, I have a great son, I have a wonderful family, I had a good job, but sports-wise, I hadn't accomplished much. So what I did was I researched about these bikini competitions. I'm like, okay, you know what? I've got to do this at least once in my lifetime. So at 40, I stepped on stage for the first time. I trained myself. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea. I was just mimicking what everybody ate, and I'm constantly researching tilapia and asparagus. Okay, I've got to eat tilapia and asparagus. Okay, I have to do this. I have to do that. I've got to lift weights. I'm constantly reaching out to people, and everybody's giving me different answers, and I was so confused. So I said, heck with all these people. I'm going to do my own thing, and I decided to get my personal training certification so I can learn on my own. So from there onwards, I did a few shows. I had no idea that I was the first female that would be competing as a Sri Lankan.
Right.
With all the positivity, there was also negativity. Why?
Always the case. Yeah.
In like in any sport, right? So I was asked, oh, you're a girl. Why are you lifting weights? Why are you trying to be like a man? But I had to put all that negativity behind me because I knew the more I trained, I saw my physique change. And I was getting stronger. I was getting leaner. I was feeling better. I had so much confidence. So those were the things, and it literally became my lifestyle. So finally, 3 years ago, I hired a coach. As I was growing in this sport, I hired a coach, and we've been training together. I've won a lot of shows. My last show was supposed to be IFBB Elite Pro Qualifiers, which was to be held last June. Never happened due to lockdown and COVID. So, but the training continues. It's a lifestyle. I make sure that I intake my proper nutrition, workout. I do strength training at least 3 to 4 times a week. I follow up with my cardio. I measure my food. Basically, that has become my lifestyle, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Oh, brilliant! Excellent. So from netballer to sportswear model, I would say swimsuit model. Just before we go any further, big hi to all your fans out there, from Manik to Errol, Anil, Dilanka.
Hi.
And I just say hi to all your fans out there. They are all.
I see a lot of Canadians. Hi, Auntie Chandi.
There you go, Bhatia. Big hi to you, and Manik's always. Yeah, always good to have them, around and talk to these people. And Chaminda, good to have you, mate. Chaminda is a social activist. It's actively involved. That I will get Chaminda on the show one day. He has a lot to say about that's not, I would say, controversial, but he has very interesting ideas about what's happening in the world. And Chaminda, if you're listening, mate, we'll be on the show soon. Ravin, good to have you as well, my son. Nice to have a unique aspect of sports, especially strength training and nutrition. There's so many messages. Let the messages come in. Just to talk about what Ravin said. That's Dhashi. That although yes, I understand you are in lockdown right now, and the training continues. That talk about how hard it is as an athlete and a swimwear model, how hard it is to keep your motivation and be in training in a like a lockdown scenario, because there are lots of athletes right now they are struggling just to cope up with these ongoing COVID and the trainings, online sessions, how hard it is, and that if anything beneficial. And by the way, did anyone call you the pocket dynamo at 5 feet no inches, or did you have to wear heels all the time? How do you go?
Yeah, I've been called a lot of things. When I was playing netball in Sri Lanka, I was named as the Issa, who
The
constantly
prawn,
jumps because the prawn, because I played center position. And even though I was short and small, I had the speed and the agility to move around and maneuver around all these tall people.
Right.
But as I came to Canada, I changed my position to goal attack, which was help shooter. So that was even challenging because my defense would be like 6-footers.
Yep.
So, the clubs that I played for is a lot of Jamaicans and, European players who are literally over 6 feet tall.
Yep.
And they would get really tired trying to block me. I've had sometimes 3 people trying to block me. And so my only I think best thing what I was able to do was with my speed. I didn't have time to waste time getting to that position to shoot. As soon as I get the ball, I've got to shoot it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Yeah, going back to lockdown, it's been a real challenge. Our gyms have been closed now for almost a year. And I've always been going to the gym. So for me to start training at home, I didn't have much equipment. So literally, I have to, every time I saw something, I had to now start collecting. And I can say I have a decent amount of equipment at home where I can now start back, build my strength. But trust me, even as an elite athlete, I was so demotivated. I was mentally depressed, emotionally, because, when you're used to doing something, going to the gym, talking to people and, talking about your day and your life, and you have built, a team over there, plus you have all the necessary equipment, where at home I don't have equipment. I didn't have equipment. Now I do, but it has been a real struggle. But thanks to my coach, he keeps me focused. He keeps me motivated. I send reports to him on a weekly basis. I send him pictures. So, don't think, even though I'm a coach myself, we need to be able to accept the fact that we all need a coach sometimes.
Right.
To guide us. So it's been a real struggle as a coach and an athlete. I coach a lot of kids and women. Nobody wants to do online training. It's really depressing right now.
Got it. So to put in a nutshell, so I would say, first thing is, if you want to do online training, find a good coach who's, versatile and who's qualified, who can conduct classes online. So that's a must, so that he'll keep you going, because, you are literally, not literally, you are interacting with your trainer, virtually. So, you have to have good interaction there. And you said a very interesting thing, to lay your hands on whatever equipment you can find. I must tell you that, I have the same habit. I don't stop, creating. That a few weeks back, I even created my own speed ball, because which I saw in a gym. You can't buy that stuff in Sri Lanka, unfortunately. Unlike in your country, where you could walk into a boxing store and you can pick it up and you can just come home and fix it. It's not the same in Sri Lanka. So I thought, no, let me create it. But the fun part of it, it's not the training. It's not about just going and hitting the speed ball, but just collecting from the little hangers to getting the ball down, finding the proper wood and getting it drilled onto a wall. And that's really, it's like at times like this. So every time that you embark on something new, or even you buy like a wristband or a pair of socks or a pair of shoes, that gets you motivated. That's what you're saying. So if you are really people listening, and I don't know whether we got anyone listening in Australia. perhaps they'll have a look-see tomorrow morning. Some of those boys early morning, because they are 5-6 hours ahead of us. And unfortunately, Melbourne went into lockdown yesterday. People are already depressed. Some of these top trainers been talking to me. They were telling me how hard it is. They just came out of a lockdown, and again another 5 days, and they're totally demotivated. And I wish those guys all the very best in Aussie, and hope they'll come out of it. And it's not easy, but the fact is the times have changed. These are very unusual times, so you got to adapt. You make the best out of it.
You have to.
You keep yourself motivated and you keep going. And just to ask you, that now, apart from, like, I don't think you do any professional sport as such, Dhashi, now, what do you train for? And all these online training with your trainer, what are you trying to get at?
So basically, right now, most of the online training, so I've done one-on-one training where people have want to lose weight or gain strength or gain mass. We've done one-on-one training, but once we went into lockdown, it all had to be online. Right now, it's actually more than people needing to lose weight or people wanting to build strength. It's just their mental aspect. I work more on their mental well-being more than physical, because right now, people are they're in so much depression because they can see their families, they can be with their parents, they can do anything. So my struggle is to keep them motivated mentally.
Right.
We have, I do online boot camps, and everybody just joins in because it's the only social thing that they can do right now. So we had to put sports on hold, sports training. I do strength and condition and SAQ for the Ontario Cricket Academy.
Right.
Kids are not interested. It's such a struggle to get them online. Like I say, I have to give them a lecture before the program saying why we need to do this. And after the program, saying, you did a great job, let's practice. Because I believe, we consider this off season because it's lockdown. You have nothing else to do. This is the best time to get your act together. This is the best time to build strength, stamina, endurance, your balance, your, everything. Because once you start playing, you don't have time to do that. So your off season is when you put the most amount of work. As hard as it is right now, I talk to my clients more than I train them to just to keep them mentally focused.
Understand? Yep. Just a big hi to Asiri from all the. There you go, from Sydney. I hope you guys are okay in Sydney. I think they're all right. My boss, Lasit Nahanakara, he's the big boss at BRC. He's watching. Good to have Lasit online, and Lalit Gunrat. How are you, sir? He's from USA. So we got a lot of people, tuning in from all over the world. Good to have all of you. And Dhashi, some of these people have been supporting my show over the past year, and without them, there is no show, as you know, that we need your well-wishers, your supporters, your loved ones, always, having your back, just the way your people in Canada, your well-wishers, having your back right now. Yes, going back to, so what are you right now training for? You should have a focus. Where are you heading? What do you want to be once, when will the lockdown be over? So what's your next immediate goal?
We have no idea when the lockdown is going to be over. And to be honest, I'm in no rush to step on stage. I'm training just in general because this is my life, and my training gives me a lot of satisfaction. That's my stress reliever. I feel empowered. I feel strong. I can go about doing my things during the day. First thing when I wake up in the morning, I have my meal, I get my training in. And that has been lifestyle. I have no plans to step on stage because we don't know when this lockdown is going to be over. So we just keep training. You just keep doing you, right? Nothing changes. Competition is not the only reason I train. I train for myself, to be healthy, to be free from diseases, to be. I want to be able to see my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, to be healthy in general.
Well said. As Ricky says, hi Dhashi. This is hilarious. You look so much different live compared to the photos in training and modeling. All right, Ricky. What we are going to do is, I think we're going to have an interval, in about 10 minutes. So we would rather ask, Dhashi to go change into a attire to probably keep all the viewers entertained. And as Ravin says, very crucial point, the mental aspect. Dhashi, we are experiencing huge numbers in the community. I think that's the biggest thing, Ravin, as she said. And just to tell you, Dhashi, that when we were in lockdown, Sohan Bola, by the way, no, we are not in lockdown. Sri Lanka is so far so good. We were in a lockdown scenario, and we are not in lockdown anymore. But there are small in pockets. There are certain places that where they have found number of cases that they have locked those places down, but they are just isolated. But as a whole, we are functional, and hopefully, if you're around, like Sohan, he played a bit of cricket under me, and hopefully the cricket season will start first week of March. Fingers crossed. We are all waiting for the season to start, Dhashi. So we started training. Being indoors for like almost 2 weeks in quarantine, and then we came out. We started training like last week, and it was great to go outdoors. And as you said, I think at the beginning that it's different training indoors and going outside. Yeah, interacting with your fellow mates and seeing your players, and outdoor training is very different. But Ravi, as Dhashi said, the most important factor right now to keep your mental aspect, that the well-being, it's very, very important. And personally, I think, Dhashi, correct me if I'm wrong, at a time like this, if you get depressed and if you are mentally down, that can affect you, and disease-wise and otherwise. So you got to. So that's very important that you find a trainer, do something, whatever that appeals to you online, keep you going.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ricky says, well, she looks more prettier to me in a normal attire without makeup extra. Oh, Ricky, bless you, mate. Yeah, she is.
I know,
she's wonderful.
All that makeup is photo shoots.
Good on you. Good to have Rubini Gomez, watching you, Dhashi. Good to have her on the show.
I have my sister online too.
All right. Who's your sister? I can't see her.
My sister is Niloo Perera. She's also a very competitive fitness competitor.
Right.
We both compete together, so it's been fun competing against
each other.
My sister sometimes, yeah.
How tall is she?
Complete fun. She's. You mean how tall?
Yeah.
She's about 5'4", if I'm not.
Okay, she's taller. She's taller than you.
Yeah, she's taller. She's taller and of course a lot prettier than I am. So she's won a lot of competitions as well.
Right, Niloo. Okay, so what you can do is we'll share the we'll send you the link, and why don't you come online so we can talk to you as well, to see what your sister has to say. Yeah, you should do that. That's Himadri. Yeah, hi, darling. How are you doing? Himadri's. If you can, if you can pass on, you can quickly WhatsApp the link to. You have the link with you, Dhashi. If you can get the link across to Niloo, she can just pop in and say hi. It'd be great to have her on the show as well. No formalities. You could. I don't have Niloo. That's fine.
That's fine.
That'll be. Yeah, that's cool. That's even better. So she can come online. Uh, just send her the link. Follow the
Okay.
instructions. Come online. I'll put you online. Right. Okay, Dhashi. Here we go. That everybody's asking. Just moving on. When and at what point did you decide to become a swimwear model? You said you mentioned that you decided to have a change of lifestyle at the age of 40. That's going back, not that's quite recently. That how it transformed you as a person, your physique and your outlook and everything. And what made you do that? And you got to tell us the challenges you faced. And as a Sri Lankan girl now living in Canada, what sort of reaction that you had from your fair sex, and let us please take us through that, your experiences.
So it's been a real challenge. Just to correct you, Charith, on that, I'm not a swimwear model. I am a
Yeah.
bikini competitor. So it's a big difference.
Okay. All right.
So swimwear models usually don't have muscles. They have beautiful
Okay. All right.
figures, right? So bikini competitors,
Right.
we need to build muscle. We have to look proportional. It's not being huge, it's being proportional. So we can't, certain aspects of our areas of our body can't be bigger than the other parts, except for our glutes. The most bikini competitors have to work on their basically glutes and shoulders, because everything has to be proportional. So I did have a real challenge, because this is a male dominant sport. Bodybuilding is a male dominant sport, and it has always been a male dominant sport. So when I started, and I started sharing my progress on social media, I got lashed. I got lashed not by anybody else, but by our own people.
When you say
So
own people, you're talking about Sri Lankans, are you? Not
I'm
just
talking about Sri Lankans. Yeah.
particularly. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I mean, I got a lot of positive comments as well as negative comments. So I had to basically not even react to the negativity, because I didn't want it to pull me down. I kept doing what I was doing, and so when I won my, you have a picture. So when I won my first competition, actually I didn't even win. I came top 2. My first instinct was to carry my country flag, which I was very proud of. My sister and I, we always carry our flags. So basically, and this was a huge moment for me. I think I was the first Sri Lankan woman to be placed in fitness competitions. So I posted on my social media. I was told to take it down immediately, because apparently it was.
So by the way, people, that's the picture that you're talking about. If I'm not mistaken, I uploaded.
Yes, that was probably in 2014, 2013, around that time. Because apparently it was a disgrace to hold the national flag in a swimsuit.
Right.
So I did. But my sister and I, we still take our flags. I believe Niloo knows that this is the first thing we pack when we go into competitions. So it's been a real challenge, because I think women were always known to be the weaker sex, right? It is the 21st century. Like, I expect more from our people. So it's I think fitness right now has come a long way in Sri Lanka, but still there are so many talented individuals, girls and women, who are afraid to come forward and do this sport, because they are being judged and humiliated and degraded just because they are wearing a bikini.
Yep. Go on. I'm listening. I'm trying to send the link to your sister.
Yeah, she's been asking. So that's,
All right.
I think the struggle continues. My sister and I, we have come a long way, and we have. I look up to the only two Sri Lankan IFBB pros who actually live in the US. Saroj, I believe, got her IFBB pro card in her 50s, and Malit
Right.
in his 30s. We have produced only two IFBB pros in Sri Lanka, but they don't even live
Right.
in Sri Lanka because you can't. I also noticed that the government doesn't support this sport too much. People have,
Where in Sri Lanka,
yes,
you
in Sri
mean?
Lanka, but I mean, you have to basically spend your own money, and this is one of the most expensive sports.
Right.
We have to spend a lot of money. Supplements cost money, training costs money, nutrition costs money, food costs money, and actually registering for the competitions. It's a lot, and I honestly don't know how Sri Lankans do it without being given any support or even having any sponsors. So kudos to Malit and Saroj. I always look up to them. They broke barriers. They somehow did it. And there are a lot of other Sri Lankans struggling to compete, and it's been a real struggle.
Can understand that. Dhashi, by the way, Niloo, if you are still listening in, I have sent you the link on your messenger. Please click on it, follow the simple instructions, and you will join into my studio, and I'll bring you on. And so basically, Dhashi, what you're saying is, I gather what Niloo is saying, that you got a lot of flack when you after winning a title, in one of the competitions or carrying the flag, that for Sri Lankan flag, and that you were threatened. This is on social media, I believe, that
Yes.
and that you were asked to take the picture down, and that you went through a lot of struggle and heartache and all that. It'll be interesting to see that lots of people listening out there, what they think about it. I mean, did Dhashi, what can I say? Did she abuse the Sri Lankan flag? Whether did she disgrace the flag? Is there an issue that that after the competition that that she carried the? I'm sure that you carried the flag with a lot of pride, because where you come from. That's absolute pride. So to carry your flag, I know that some of the kids who graduate in USA, when they go for the graduation, they carry the flag. And
I mean, every athlete do, right?
Exactly.
Even athletes do.
See, good point. Say that for an example that I mean, we produce a lot of these 4x100 the athletes in the shorter version. They're brilliant, perhaps the best in Asia. And today that their attire has changed so much over the years. And when they, after the competition, they wrap the flag up, they run around, and then now I'm sure that the same people would say it's an absolute disgrace that you're in a hot pair of shorts, and that you disgrace the flag. That's my view, Dhashi. I think it's very the male dominance and being judgmental.
Yes. I've been called names too. Like I've been called, like, these are by women basically calling us ugly. I'm pretty sure my sister has got the same, or other women who compete, ugly. Why are you trying to be like a man? We are not trying to be like men. We are not trying to be like anything. We're doing it for ourselves.
Well said. I mean, that you should not get disheartened or distracted by certain people, the comments that they make. Unfortunately, that's the society you've been born to.
Yes.
And as I always say, that that you can't win them all. You will always find one or two that who will see the whole thing. The negativity. Sometimes people they can't get out of it. That people don't realize. Some of the people, I think. you got to be, in my view, you got to be an extraordinary person to have chosen the path that you have taken. That you lift weights, and I will get on to it. Like sometimes that you told me that how much that you eat just to buff yourself up before a competition, and going into the gym, lifting weights. It's not, an ordinary person can't do that. I think in my view, I believe that our ancestors going back millions of years, Spartans, and you talk of the gladiators, they were tougher people. Perhaps we were bigger than them. That's the latest research says that we are bigger physically, but I don't imagine these people World War One, like going beyond that. People fought face. There was no fear, and they were extraordinary people. And now that we have, all in a comfort zone, and all we sit in front of computers and having these the white collar jobs, and doing fancy all sorts of things. All we do is we pass judgment on people who wants to be, different, basically.
Exactly. That's my point too.
Yeah. And all what I'm saying is, before you pass judgment on another human being, walk in his or her shoes.
Exactly.
Can you do it? Can I do it? Can I get anywhere near what that person is doing? And I keep saying it. It's very interesting, Dhashi, that it's a funny story that sometimes I repeat it because it's so funny that if you can recall, when was the last time you visited Sri Lanka?
2010.
All right. Okay. A few years back. We still have those. If you travel out of Colombo, we still have this little kiosk, where they make tea. You can, you're driving down to, say, Anuradhapura or Gaul or wherever. No, it's Gaul, not so much. Now you're on the highway. But other places, you travel up, you get tired, you can stop, one of these kiosks to have a cup of tea. And then, you start chatting, and you ask Matya Koinda, Colombo, Matya Monata Karane, cricket Ghana. And then the guy will teach you, then say, cricket koi the guy way, and just then so you tell the guy, I played a bit of cricket, school cricket, and eventually you played for the country or whatever. And the guy will tell you, sir, Danno then Prasne. Now the guy is teaching me how to bat, say this is how Sangakkara should bat. This is how Jayawardena should bat. That this is how Arjuna should have batted. Or this is how we should have played the 2011 World Cup. All those things. The guy goes on and on and on. Then eventually he brings a cup of tea. The tea is bloody horrible. It's his job is to make a good cup of tea. Instead of making the tea, he's advising other people how to live their lives. And this is the problem we have in this country. People passing judgment, without thinking. There's absolutely no thinking. Whilst we were propping up the show, now it's about a week. I saw certain comments, people asking, what, why? All kinds of stupid questions. And some of these people don't even have a profile picture on FB.
Those are keyboard heroes.
And they just pass judgment on everyone. And so it's, personally, in my view, Dhashi, the journey that you have, come along, and that, what you and your sis is doing. I don't know whether Niloo is still around with the
get out of those pajamas and get online.
Exactly. Yeah. Come online. Good to hear from her side of the story.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She can tell. She's very ruthless when people comment. She won't keep quiet. I'm a little bit diplomatic.
Good to have Deepa Lahangam on the show. Deepa said Dhashi's dad. Hold on a minute. The message is coming in, and it's keep overlapping one another. Dhashi, that Perera was my TT coach. Wow, how great is that? And was a super mentor to many of our youngsters in Mount Lavinia, and great to see his daughter, a highly skilled athlete. Hi to you and your dad, Deepal. I'm sure Dhashi will convey your sentiments to senior Mr. Perera. Is he watching? He sent me a message, said I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, where is he?
Yeah, he warned me. He said, be nice to my daughter. I said, yes, sir.
He was talking highly about you.
Oh, that's very nice of him. It's good to
Yes.
good to hear from him. And what is Niloo saying? Niloo saying what? Niloo, Deepal, I mentioned to my dad today. He's coming over this afternoon. Okay.
Okay, so Anil Perera had said, Dhashi, Niloo, can you elaborate on incorrect vitamin and other supplements you take and the importance? So, can I elaborate on that, Charith?
Yeah, please go ahead. This is your show. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so supplementation is very important. There's macros and micros. Micros are the vitamins and minerals that you're supposed to be taking on a daily basis. Macros are basically the food, carbs, proteins, and the fats. You need to consume certain amount of supplements, the basic supplements. You don't need to get into unknown things. The basic supplements, your regular vitamins, your D3s, the vitamin C, minerals, calciums, that's all you need to worry about. But my main concern is the food. The food is the most important thing. A lot of people have this notion that in order to lose weight, you need to stop eating rice, or you need to just go on a low carb diet or no carb diet or juice diet or a cleanse diet. I don't know. There are millions of bad diets out there, which I'm totally against.
Right.
So, Anil Uncle, I don't know if I'm answering your question properly. I always tell my clients, I'm not a certified registered dietitian. Only registered dietitians can give meal plans and proper nutritional plans. I guide my clients through giving them the proper tools to research what to eat, what they shouldn't be eating. Just cut down on the extra calories. So if you're taking 3 sugars in your tea, just gradually decrease the amount of sugars you're taking. Avoid fried foods, avoid processed food, just basic stuff. But eat your food. Don't go on these stupid diets because they don't work. They'll work until you keep taking them. But as soon as you stop, it's going to backfire on you.
Well
so
said.
this is something, it's very hard to put into people's heads, especially the older generation. People think rice is bad. Rice is not bad. It's how you eat it. People also think eating late at night is bad. No, you have an amount of calories that you should be consuming. It doesn't matter what time you consume those calories, as long as you don't exceed them.
Well said.
Your body doesn't recognize time, right?
All right.
You can eat at whatever time.
Well said. So there's a belief amongst people that the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You don't agree that that has to be the most important meal. So it's what you eat during the day, or just that. I think that breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, unless you're going to hit the gym.
Yeah, all your meals are important.
Yeah, all your meals. Yeah.
And it also depends on the individual and their goals, right? Like if you're trying to lose weight or lose body fat or become lean, you can survive with 3 meals. You have to at least eat 4 to 6 meals, but in portion control within your calories.
Right. Okay. I think your sister is she's ready finally. I'm not too sure whether she's in the PJs. Okay, I'll bring her on. And before because you said a nice thing, there's a bit of controversy. Yeah, can you ask your hubby to shut up, please? That I could hear him in the background. So. Okay, I'm going to bring your sister on so you can have a bit of support. Niloo, is that okay? All right. Okay, I'm going to put her on in a.
I'm
Here
in my
we go.
pajamas,
He's the
guys. I
sister
didn't
too.
change. I'm wearing my robe.
No,
So
that's
excuse
fine.
me.
No, that's okay. All right. So good to have you on the show
Same
as
here.
well. Your sister has been batting on for a while and talking about various things. And this whole show is about, she mentioned the fact that you too are a what do you call a bikini wear model, right? Did I get that right, Dhashi?
Fitness bikini competitors.
Yeah, so both of you are the same, and we were talking about what you have to undergo, or just that the reception you had from a Sri Lankan point of view, how hard it was. And I guess you two have a lot to add to what your sister said. What was it like, that being having got courage to be different, I would put it that way.
So for me, it was, I mean, I'm pretty sure she can attest to the same, message that I'm going to give everybody else. It's more than the hard work that we have to put in. It was the criticism that came along with it, not free, from others. Is this really what you want to do? Oh, what are you going to gain out of, wandering around in a bikini? People just assume that we walk around in our bikinis all day long. Which is not true. Like you can see, I'm in my robe right now, right? So it was more than
fine.
You have to be mentally tough to be able to handle the criticism that came along with it. At first, it was tough because I think it was it's just the demeaning way of people kind of thought about us, like thought of who we,
It's not constructive criticism.
It's not. It was, and the sad part was most of this criticism came from women.
Yeah.
From other women, right? And you will hear comments like, "Ayyo balanna ara lameyage, ayyo balanna minihek wage addeka balanna kakul deka balanna." I mean, you hear that, and you know what? You have to be mentally tough to kind of ignore those kind of comments and go on with your life. At the end of the day, they're not paying my bills. They're not buying my groceries. They're not buying my supplements and paying my coach. We do it ourselves, right? So you just have to be able to ignore that and do your own thing.
And we are very blessed to have supportive husbands and parents. Like our husbands are pillars. They have been supporting us like from the get-go.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with you. That the credit must go to your respective husbands. Being so supportive, being understanding. I think it's very challenging to have two women carrying weights and with big muscles and just running around. It's not must be pretty intimidating as must be to them. But that do those guys train with you at all?
No,
my husband he's scared to train with me.
I've got my husband to join the gym 3 times, and had to cancel membership because he'll go like maybe twice a year, and I'm like, okay, dude, you're banned from the gym. You can't go. You're not consistent, right? But if there's anything to be moved in the house, my son and husband will jokingly say, "Oh, well, why don't you come and move the couch?" I'm like, "Why? Well, you're the one who lift weights."
Yeah.
So I just say, I don't lift couches in the gym. I lift weights.
True. People don't understand that because they think go to the gym that you can move stuff around, which is not it's not the case.
But they have been really supportive. We go through a lot of a big mental change during competition prep when we have to reduce our carbs, which affects our moods. We get cranky and we take it all on our spouses, So
hang on a minute. So you have like an overdose of carbs, that the carbs can have
we
that
do
effect
both.
on you?
Yes, we overdose. Plus, we don't call overdose. We call it carb loading.
Carb loading.
Sometimes there are times I've had to eat 10 cups of cooked rice a day. So it has been a real struggle. So eating 10 cups of cooked rice.
So that is to pump yourself up, I believe. You know, that is to pump
it's just to fill out the muscles, you know.
Bulk it up.
Yeah, and there are stages that you have to go on very low carb and still train with the same intensity.
Right.
So it's really hard. It's really hard because when you lower your, I'm just talking competition level. I'm not talking for normal people. You shouldn't be eating, going on low carb diets. But because we have to get our body fat lower before we step on stage, we go on sometimes with low carbs, and we still have to train 2 times a week with very low energy, lift the same amount. It's a struggle. So there's no focus. But I guess now our hubbies are so accustomed to our moods. When every time we bring up competition, my sister and I, both our husbands, are like, oh boy, here we go again.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know, they should be, you know, they're like my husband. He knows the mood swings that come along with the especially towards the end of the training, right? You know, when you're so close to a competition, like Dhashi said, you know, we have to go through those low carb days and deplete, you know, so your body is totally depleted of carbs, especially your last week, and there's no energy. So I always end up taking it out on my husband, you know, snappy and, you know, just mood swings that go along, right? But I think, you know, at first it was kind of hard for him to get used to that. But you know, having, you know, us having it done so many times, they're kind of accustomed to it now.
Yeah, and they're very proud. They're very proud. They are our cheerleaders, basically.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. I mean, good to have, you know, spouses like that, you know, to back you up in everything that you do. I think, you know, that, you know, clears a lot of obstacles, you know, that you have an understanding partner, you know, just and to because as I said, you guys they're not ordinary people. You are extraordinary people, different, you know, courage to be different. So that is where perhaps, you know, all this, you know, that sometimes it could be jealousy, people being judgmental, you know, sometimes, you know, people envy you because, you know, they can't be in your shoes. So there is a combination of factors. So, you know, I think we need to understand the people's mentalities, you know, sometimes. And I'm like you guys, you know, I get pretty emotional. I have a bad temper. Lots of people know about it. Sometimes I lose it on the show. I try to keep it, you know, very calm and, you know, just, you know, not to get distracted over some comments. By the way, you know, you guys, your fan club keeps growing and growing, and, you know, just Aruni, good to have Aruni on the show.
Aruni is my cousin, actually. Aruni is my mom's cousin. Hi, Aruni Aki.
All right, and then Geshan, who was on the show last time, you know, as a great young cricketer, and who spoke wonderfully well last time. Good to have Geshan. Then Savitri Perera. Who's Savitri?
My mom.
Okay, good to have you around, Auntie. You know, just a pleasure to have you, Mom. Dad is watching too. Yes, there you go. Your dad's on board. You know, I have Aruna Uta. There you go. Mom and Dad on board. There. Ravin Samarkon hitting the bullseye. Yeah.
Aruna is one of our old childhood friends. We grew up together.
All right. Okay. Yeah. And yes, your senior Mr. Perera says hi. Good to have you, sir. Good to have, you know, it's a privilege to have you on the show. I hope you saw Deepa's comments on you, you know, saying that what a great coach you were and how much they learned and how grateful they were. You know, well done, sir. Respect, my good friend Shoaib Muhammad. All due respect, Dhashi. SF flag flying high in Canada. How often do we get that? Yeah, you go. People are, you know, supporting you. I don't see any negative.
We're very thankful for your support. Thank you.
And Somali, good to have. Somali is another great person, girls, and she's not a Wonder Woman, I would say. You know, she's a fully qualified yoga teacher. She does online classes. You know, there's such a great story behind Somali, and she has 3 kids. And and she's a busy housewife. That she's an expat, based in Kenya, and she spent just before COVID, I think, almost 6 months in isolation in India, learning the yoga and what she does. She conducted a class for my whole squad once, and which we are truly grateful. And she managed to put, towards the end of the class, she managed to put all the kids to sleep, and with the relaxation techniques, and it was wonderful. Switch on, switch off. I would say that if anybody gets a chance to talk to Somali and find out what she does, it's simply truly magical. Good to have you, Somali, and hopefully you could do another class, again. Duminda Mangal, a great conversation. Thank you, mate. Good to have you on board. Reeves Nadroff, great informative. He's a legend in Sri Lanka. He's a brilliant writer, and good to have Reeves as well. Ruini, so nice to see you. Niloo, say hi to you. Aruna, Felix. Amazing to see these two ladies breaking all those barriers placed by Mayor Shawnees. There you go. Felix is one great guy. He's always, on the ball, supports, everyone who's involved in sports. Good to have, Felix on the show. I'm going to actually, it keeps growing. I think I'm way behind all these comments, and hopefully that you girls can reply to some of these, the comments coming. Otherwise, we get distracted. There are so many. Robin, very good input. Carbs extra pre-rep. Yeah, I think you girls got to just to the. I can't keep a track actually. It's keep overlapping. My. Oh God, I think I lost it.
One thing I want to add is it's great to see that bodybuilding is kind of becoming a thing in Sri Lanka now, especially, where women are involved. There are more and more women that take part. You hats off to them. They have to break barriers, right? Here there's a male dominant sport, especially in Sri Lanka, with the culture of where the woman's place is in the kitchen, right? Not in a gym lifting weights. So, I really want to say hats off to those women who broke those barriers and, stepping on stage.
Now that you mentioned that.
If you talk to them, they're still afraid to wear a bikini and step on stage because, what's the big deal? It's a sport. At the end of the day, you're not walking around on the street in a bikini, right?
Yeah, I think it's a growing sport in Sri Lanka, as you rightly said.
Rapidly.
Yeah, I think it's because of the social taboos that we have in place, that the social stigma. I'm sure those ladies, I usually I know lots of other ladies who are involved in other sports. I know rugby is a growing sport, which is a contact sport, which is growing, and MMA, martial arts. Lots of girls are into MMA.
Yeah.
But I'm really not very sure about the girls, getting into weights and stuff like that too. To tell you that, the fact is, I should tell you an interesting story. Until I left school, and then I played, so many years of cricket, and until I moved to club cricket, and I met a couple of rugby boys, and for that, must give full credit to Chandrashan Perera, good old, the top rugby player and top athlete, and he's the one who first taught me how to lift weights. I had absolutely no clue that how to do a set of weights, and then I got totally engrossed in it and started doing weights, and so it became a lifelong passion, and it's like it's part and parcel of life. What I'm trying to get at is that yes, it's becoming popular in the cities now. There are lots of gyms, and nice to see lots of ladies working out. Prior to that, we did not have a culture of lifting weights, and it's a novelty to lots of ladies yet. For a girl to go and pick a set of dumbbells up, start working and work on their muscles and look big, and so I hope it'll grow. It will be great to see more and more girls doing this. If you two can start a show and tell people, and that will go a long way. And if you can talk about how you started, and the Niloo, are you the elder sister or younger sister? I'm not very sure.
I'm the eldest.
You're the eldest. You're the
And
youngest.
we have a
So,
brother too who's really athletic.
okay.
So growing up, he was my biggest competition
All right.
in
It's
all
running in the
sports.
family. It's running in the family. But what I'm trying to say is now Dhashi says that she got into lifting at the age of 40. That's like, that's a pretty long way in life, that for her to, that with, she has been for the lifting only for the last 8 years. And how hard it is for a woman of that middle-aged group, a lady, to attain that kind of transformation in body, how hard it is and what you need to do. I know it's blood, sweat and tears. It's very hard, but it'll be brilliant that if you two can to elaborate on it.
But my thing is, strength training, you don't have to do strength training just to have to be able to compete. Strength training has a lot of benefits. Women are so used to doing endless amount of hours of cardio and cardio and cardio. They don't realize how important strength training is. Strength training doesn't just give you muscles. It actually helps you lean out. It helps you build muscle, and muscle actually helps metabolize food faster. And you, Niloo, take it from here, because there's so many benefits I can't even explain.
I mean, think about it as your metabolism. It's actually, having more muscle in your body. It helps your metabolism. It speeds up your metabolism, right? And aside from all of that, and aside from all the aesthetics, looking good and whatever, like, the curves and everything that comes along with it, think about, it gives your lifelong longevity, right? You're able to, somebody who can't go up few stairs, to a few flights of stairs, lifting weights and, exercising, that task becomes a piece of cake, right? So
and
it's
also
good
when
for
you
your
have muscle
joints,
in your body, you're able to keep fat off, reduce fat faster, in a sense, in a healthy way. Cardio can only take you so much.
Yeah.
And when you have lean muscle in your body, it's more easier to burn fat faster.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I think along the way there have been this stigma, especially around women, that lifting weights will make them look like a man, right? If that was true, then Dhashi and I will look like Hulk. We lift quite heavy, and women don't have that we don't have that in us to make us big. You know what I mean? Like,
especially not naturally.
You will. Unless you're on a whole heap of steroids and other stuff, right? Other PEDs, that's the one thing, but it doesn't make you look like a man, or make you look muscular, because it isn't. It doesn't do that.
That's the problem with a lot of women in Sri Lanka. They think, okay, if you lift weights, you're going to look like a man, which is totally untrue. You don't turn into a man. Niloo and there are so many women who've been lifting weights for ages. Okay, it only enhances you, but you will never end up looking like a man or growing a mustache or a beard just by lifting weights.
Yeah.
Good point. So can we agree that so you guys said some very really interesting things, just by your own experiences, would you say that lifting heavy is more effective than cardio to burn fat?
Yeah.
Do you say that?
Of course. Yeah.
You both endorse that, and you agree that it's 100%. Far more effective lifting heavy and to reduce your fat.
The amount of calories, for an example, the amount of calories that you burn lifting weights for 15 minutes versus cardio for 15 minutes. It's totally different. You're gonna burn way more calories by lifting weights. And then in the long run, lifting weights, help you build muscle, which the more muscle you have, your body keeps it goes into that thermogenic energy where your body keeps on burning fat even after during rest, after you have finished your workout.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah.
Right?
I was going to ask
because
you.
your body, you need more. Because you need more, you burn more calories during recovery, and so
absolutely. Okay, well said. Number 2, that if you are not taking steroids and stuff like that, I think Niloo just went off the line. Hopefully she'll get back. That what you're saying is it's not possible to look like Hulk, which I agree. I mean, that's humanly, you don't build huge muscles overnight. I think if anybody listening out there, I must contribute from a male point of view. Even if you're not on dodgy stuff, like as you rightly said, steroids and dodgy supplements and whatnot, you can't just build massive muscles overnight. The human body is not meant to be like that. Unless you're a professional WWF wrestler, you got fully steroid up to your eyeballs, that kind of thing. But it's not possible. So yes, I fully agree with you.
I also know female bodybuilders who do take steroids, and that is their professional sport. They get paid to do this. So when it's their profession, they'll do anything. Now it's about being bigger and bigger and bigger on stage, even for female bodybuilders. Yeah. So when you're in that level, like with Olympia or Arnold's, everybody is on steroids. There's not a single person. Even I know a lot of bikini athletes who are not natural. So do we want to go? I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not with it. It's all up to the individual, how far they want to go in this sport. I basically do it for fun. I love the journey, and it's my lifestyle. I can live without competition. I can live with competition. I choose one or two competitions a year if I feel like it. Thank God I have a sponsor. Otherwise, I would be paying an arm and a leg for my competitions. They're so expensive. I'm so blessed to have a sponsor from the US, Fourth Magazine. Thank you so much for sponsoring me. They have been my sponsor for the past 3 years. They pay for all my competition, prep, everything. So I can understand if at that elite level, if people are getting paid to win shows, they have to take steroids. They have to be bigger than the rest. And it also comes, there are also side effects to it. So you have to face the good and the bad.
There are consequences. There's a very interesting question coming from Ricky. Will lifting heavy weights at a younger age affect a female in any way, especially ones who are hoping to a family, etc.? Great point.
Not at all.
What are your views?
Not at all. I know young moms who have just had kids, babies, are back in the gym lifting, and even before they give birth, they're lifting. So it's all how your body can handle. If you haven't been lifting for years and this is a new sport to you, then of course you have to consult your physician, right?
Right.
So if it's something new, you shouldn't. But if it's something that you have been doing, I know when I was pregnant, I played sports until probably I was 8 months pregnant. I played cricket, I played volleyball, I played every sport because my body can handle it, because I've been playing at such a young age. But if it was something new for me to do, something would have happened.
I was going to endorse what you said. I think if you have been doing it over a period of time, or you got muscle memory and your body knows what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Then even I believe, with the little experience that I have, I'm not a professional lifter. I just lift to keep myself going. And as a lot of things you said, keep my focus, and especially strength training, because at my age I still got to stand on my feet for long hours, throw a ball, and stay fit. So it takes the health weights actually gives you power. And if anybody listening out there who wants to, and I don't know whether it's mental, but the day after, especially the day after you pump, you feel, there's a term that you feel pumped. You feel your arms,
great, isn't it?
It's a really great feeling. That's so there are two ways that you and I agree that the weights are brilliant even if you are pregnant until the day that you give birth to a child. But don't do it if you haven't done it before.
Yes.
And, be careful. That it's not something that you embark, especially if you're pregnant.
No.
If not, even at the age of 50, 60, you can still take up lifting.
Yeah.
That
I still look up to these older women who are in the gym, who are 70, 80 years old, lifting weights. And I always think, man, I want to be like that one day.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to. That you don't stop lifting until the day you die. Dhashi, you don't believe who's online. It's Kusal Kumar Gunawardena. He's a great physio based in Aussie, and he's actually I forget her surname. His client played Serena Williams the other night.
Oh, and wow!
He's involved with the ACC. Great physio. I think one of the top physios, along with Dulan, this country lost, now residing in Australia. And hi, Charith, great show once again. We know in the research that strength training helps burn fat faster. Yes, effectively. We also know that pregnant women who exercise have children that are 25% smarter. I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, congratulations to Dhashi and her family for their achievements. Good to have you on the show, bro. Always, all the very best. I know that you guys are under lockdown. Stay safe, and stay positive. In the middle of a tournament, it's not the way to go. No spectators, but the times are such. We need to live with it. That's the way the life. That's the way the life goes. That's Ricky. I think Ricky has an obsession at 48. That looks 25. At 30, she will look 48. I'm sure. There you go. That's everybody's wish.
Oh, and there was a comment by Ricky. He wanted me to show my muscles. Let's do it.
Wow! There you go. But yeah,
it's not visible yet, but it's coming.
They're bigger than mine, man. Can you see that? I can't see it. Oh man, yeah. But yeah. Oh. I give up. I
don't walk around flexing all the time.
Oh, that's huge stuff. There you go. It's all very well preserved and hidden. They come out only in the night, only when you want it. That's Tilina Kandambi.
It will just come out,
Yeah, man. That's where the muscles come out. The Tilina Kandambi. Great to have you, son, on the show. Is another guest of mine. A couple of weeks back, another top coach. Now you got a fantastic audience watching you. Dhashi, I think. Have you got Niloo back on? Oh yeah, Niloo is back on. Let's get Niloo on this. Let's see. We thought you went to sleep, Niloo. Your lights are off now.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't prepared for this, right? So the laptop died. I'm still in my pajamas.
Why are you so in the dark?
I guess because where I am.
Okay.
Just stay there. Just stay there.
Yeah. Don't jump around. Just you give us, we all feel dizzy now looking at you.
I know.
I know. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get good connection, and I try to find an outlet where I can plug the laptop. So.
Oh, that's but great to have you. That's with such short notice that you decided to come on the show, which for I'm very, very grateful. And Niloo, before you came on the show, that we had this great physio who's involved with the Australian Open.
Wonderful.
What he said something, and for pregnant women, seriously, Dhashi did not know. I did not know. He mentioned that that research has found that the ladies who do weights during pregnancy, their children are 25% smarter than it's normal people. Yeah. That's interesting. Very, very interesting.
That's interesting.
I know. During both of my pregnancies, right up until the day I went into labor, I worked out. With both kids, the wives' tales where people are told, when you're pregnant, you have to put your feet up and rest as much as you can. No, I was at the gym pretty much every day. Of course, there were modifications to the exercises. And I did everything. I didn't stop working out when I was pregnant with both of my pregnancies. And, the babies are healthy and the labor was
pretty easy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So.
All right. So you guys talking about, this natural birth, I believe. And it's, is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Great advice, if people listening out there. So you basically, what you're saying is, it's not only for a group of ladies that everybody must lift. Is that what you're saying? No?
We're not saying not everybody should lift. Everyone should actually, when I tell people to do something, I always tell them to research. Don't take my word for it.
Okay.
Okay? We have technology now. Do your own research. I get messages all the time saying, Aki, should I take this protein? Should I take that? Do your research.
Sure.
Because I'm not a doctor. I don't know what kind of situation you're in. I don't know what kind of problems you have. I don't know what kind of diseases you have. I can't tell you to take something. I know nothing about you.
Right. Do
right?
research.
Do your research. I mean, for me to tell that person, I have to do the research anyways. Because I don't know that person. Even with my clients, I never tell them to take anything. I don't. I just do my exercises with them. I have a talk. I check on them. I check on their mental status. I ask if they enjoy the workout. I'm constantly interacting. Even after my sessions with my clients, I'm interacting with them throughout the week. That's very important. You don't do, as a coach, you don't do a session and wait till the next session to interact with your client, right? You have to keep checking on them. You have to give them assurance. You have to give them security that you're there, that they can trust you if something happens or something falls back, or if they're demotivated, to pick them up.
Well said. What are your girls' take on supplements and pre-workouts and whatever? What do you guys say?
It's something that I don't take. I don't know.
It's to each their own, right? It's just like steroids. I mean, there are women here as well as, of course, men that take steroids. That's their choice. Same thing with pre-workouts. I'm not gonna say I haven't taken it. My first competition, I did end up taking for maybe like a week, and it was actually hindering my workouts because I was more jittery. I couldn't focus. And then at the end, my body just couldn't adjust to it. And then at the middle of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm staring at the ceiling because I couldn't sleep. It hadn't left my body, my system yet. So it didn't work for me.
Pre-workouts are so much of caffeine.
Yeah.
So it's better. My advice is, if you want a pre-workout, have a cup of coffee. Yeah. It's natural caffeine, right? Why do you want a pre-workout that's first pricey and have so much other chemicals that you want to put in your body?
Absolutely.
Well said, girls. Yeah, I agree with you. I have to tell you, over the years, I have spent I wouldn't thousands of whatever currency that just experimenting on all these
we have to
formulas, and it doesn't work. It really, as you rightly said, just stick to your natural. If you really want a caffeine dose, put 3 teaspoons of coffee and have a black coffee, and it does wonders. That it's better than any pre-workout stuff that is out there in the market. I'm not against it, but if that is how your mind is conditioned that you need a pre-workout, it's all well and good. You carry on. I don't know, unless you know the product very well, that it does not consist other stuff in that. And I know that you girls have very strong views on alcohol and training. How would you look?
Alcohol and training is a no for me. First of all, I don't drink. Kudos to people who can handle alcohol. I don't drink. It does nothing to me. I'll probably fall asleep somewhere. Even when I go to a social gathering, I can sip on a glass of wine the whole night.
Right.
But as soon as I have a little bit, I just want to sleep. Like it does nothing to me. So
you're naturally hyper. That's why.
I'm naturally hyper. I'm just high on life in general.
There's a saying that you are high on divine, not on wine. That's
yeah.
What?
But if you're in a fitness, if you have a fitness routine, and if you have fitness goals, you're consuming unnecessary calories.
Yeah.
And alcohol have a lot of sugars.
True.
It also affects your liver. So when you have even a social glass of wine, it takes literally 72 hours to leave your system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's frightening.
So people have this notion, oh, I'm going to drink on the weekend and I'm going to start my program again on Monday. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Your body is still carrying the alcohol. Alcohol is as good as putting poison into your liver.
Thank you. And I think we should move on from that subject because you just gave me the jitters. I was planning to have a drink or two after the show. Now, next time when I take, there's a glass into my hand, what the hell did these women say? And
well, it does say drink with Charith, right?
Yeah. I think I probably have to change the name, drink, some...
maybe a protein, bring a protein drink with you. There you go.
Dhashi was carrying that. Yeah, there you go. That's what she was drinking. And by the way, ladies, before we wind up, just to how long are you going to be on this journey of this exploring and find this your whatever that the life ambition you have? This how long are you going to continue this for?
Until I hit 6 feet under, which is until the day of. I don't think there's a limit to
my passion with training others and passing on my knowledge and helping people stay fit and actually teaching them. My focus with my kids and my clients is not just to get them from point A to B. I want them to learn. I want to educate them. So, there will come a point where you don't need coaches. You have to do your own thing so that my education for them will be instilled in them. So I want people to know how to make a lifestyle change rather than making quick decisions for weight loss or weight gains. I get so much messages asking what are good fat burners. I have no idea. To be honest, I tell them, I've never tried a fat burner. Why not take the long path? Why are you trying to take a shortcut?
Because it's easier, right?
Yeah, because people always pick the easy route. To build a healthy lifestyle, it may take years, but you know what? It's a healthy lifestyle. You're not taking shortcuts.
Sure. Yeah.
You have to think long term, right? I mean, are you going to look good for a wedding and then put on 50 pounds? Or you want to, have that forever?
Well
so
said.
I always say smaller steps. It's all my coach has always instilled this in me. It's progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, I think there is progression. Wherever your attention goes, you need to make that first step. If there are big plans, if you don't take that first stride, it's not going to happen. That's the main thing. And it's amazing, certain things, just to tell you guys, Niloo, can you lift yourself up a little? My eyes keep going, you're a little lower than...
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. All right. That's great. To tell you guys, I had this obsession with martial arts and, always I thought it's beautiful. I want to learn a bit more about boxing. And then I got myself a trainer and started training at the age of 52. And since then, I never stopped learning. I every day that I learn more and more about boxing, and that you realize what a beautiful sport that is. It's not for everybody. Just get in there, but there is so much that I could learn as a coach, and I've taken certain technique into cricket and how it works. They go hand in hand. and it's amazing. So it's just a little step that one day I was just roaming through. I was watching an old clip of probably Joe Fraser or one of those Muhammad Ali's, and then I thought, let me give it a try and see how I feel, and never stop learning. And I think until the day I die, even I will never know about boxing. Even if I study it until the next few years, because it's such a vast, massive sport with a very long history, like everything else. So in life, you never stop learning. You learn
never.
every day. But in order to do that, you have to take that initial step. That once you take that initial step, there's no stopping. That's like what they say, keep walking like Johnny Walker. Just there go ladies. Lalit Gunratna said, there goes my body. So it's my Lalitaya. I'm just now I'm like,
sorry, Lalit.
Yeah, they just
and there's a saying that you are the only one that stay in the way of your progress, right? Nobody else. You have to hold yourself accountable. At the end of the day, it's you have to be driven. You have to have that determination and willpower.
And most of all, you have to do what you love to do. You have to find your passion. Not everybody is into strength training. Not everybody is into doing certain things. But you find it may take a long time to find what your passion is, and you just continue with it. Forget about all the other people, being negative. You just find your passion and you keep going.
Exactly. And what is, I think your real competition every day is with yourself. That you keep raising that bar on a daily basis, and you don't know how far you can lift it. Before you start going into competition with someone else, you got to meet your own competition every day. As you wake up, you try to become better and better in what you do, and that's simple. And just as long as you try to raise your own bar, the rest becomes easier. And as Kusal says, Dhashi and Niloo have achieved many milestones. Hang on, so everyone can see that. We need many more women in leadership positions. What advice would they give to their younger self? There you go, girls.
I wish I started it earlier. Honestly, that's it. I didn't start, as Dhashi said, I didn't start weightlifting until I was probably in my, early 30s, my first competition was, I was probably about 30, how old was I? I don't even remember, 37, 36, 37. And honestly, I guess
when we
you can't reverse your time, right?
Yeah. When we go into competitions, I realize we are the oldest, and we have to compete against 20-year-olds on stage.
Absolutely.
And that's the real task. So when you're young, you have all these looks and you're pretty, and then we are in our 40s competing against these younger people who have never had kids and who have never had a stretch mark, and we are flaunting with stretch marks, and no matter how much tan you do, like we all have to tan before we step on stage because of the lighting. We still have stretch marks, and that's not something we should be ashamed of, right?
Those are landmarks, I would say. That's something you should be proud of.
Metal scars.
Yeah, battle scars. That's like the song that you did it your way.
You don't have to hide those. Yeah.
True. If you can see the so much, so many positive comments coming in. Before that, big hi to Dilki. How do you say that?
Mississauga, Ontario.
Yeah, from Canada, and Aruni is still around. Which is and Charith says, fellow Canadian. Yeah, you put us to shame, ladies. I'm gonna start working out tomorrow. After COVID, close the gym. This is my comeback. See how we inspire people. Out of all those 82 people who have seen you, they say, just do it. That's like Nike says, just do it and get on with your life. And that's
and you know what? You don't need to spend hours and hours training, right? Like if you can do a quick 20-minute HIIT session, which is IIT, high intensity interval training, 20 minutes a day, you know, you have so much hours left. I mean, I don't have empathy for people who say, oh, we don't have time as you do to exercise. We don't have time to do this. That's the biggest excuse people have, time. You don't have time, but you have to make time.
And then those the same people have, hours of time in front of the TV, right?
True.
Right.
True. Yeah.
Watching Netflix.
You can take care of yourself.
Netflix.
Care of others.
And ladies, can I add something very, I mean, I don't know whether you agree with me or not. This little bit of research that I have done, which I want to talk about someday with, maybe Dhashi can come back on the show with Niloo and with Niloo, and we can talk about it. I've learned that it's called training smart. I know both you guys are personal trainers. What are your views? That most of the guys, I know some of my friends who started training, getting these, what can I say, the sophisticated trainers to work with them. These guys have a habit of, you book them for 1 hour. By the time the session finishes, that they kill the client, that the client could barely walk the next day. For the next 2-3 days, it's a complete goner. That's like they kill their enthusiasm and their training stuff then and there. But there's a new way of people, people saying, your training, as you rightly said, could be 20 minutes. And if you could do 5 lifts comfortably 5 times a week, which is far better than that you are lifting, like 20 reps for the week, like you have done more.
Of course.
And like regular training in small numbers, and which is called smart training, I think, which I have tried it.
You have to train smart, not train hard. Yeah.
Train smart, yeah. And I think it works pretty well. So as you rightly said, when you went to eating, there's nothing called the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Every meal is important. It depends on what you eat and the number of calories you put in. And just like that, your training sessions matters. It's not 1 hour that you got to train for 1 hour. Probably an untrained, unseasoned athlete may not sustain 1 hour the first day.
No.
It could, yeah. No. What do you guys think about that? Train smart?
I totally agree with you, Charith, because my whole thing about training is you have to train smart, not train hard. Okay? What happens is you and plus I don't advise people to keep training the same muscle group on a daily basis, because you need to let the muscles grow and develop. You need to give them rest. Okay? And you don't want that exhaustion. You can, when you train hard, okay, you can actually get injured. And if you don't have proper rest, if you are not had your proper meals, I don't also believe in I'm really tired today, but I just want to go and train just to at least do something. No, if you cannot give your 100%, don't do it. I'd rather have you have a rest day instead and give your full 100% the next day. Because when you train under these circumstances, you will get injured. You're tired. You're not focused. So why? Why are you wasting your time training?
Well said. Niloo, you share the same sentiment to you?
Absolutely. People ask me like, oh, how long do you work out? It all depends on my workouts, where right now, because of COVID, we have to book out, gym sessions, and they only allow you to have like 1 hour slots. Right. So for me, that 1 hour.
Sorry, Niloo, just to let Charith know, their region, their lockdown is lifted, so their gyms are open, not for us.
All right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So, but with the minimum capacity, which is 10 people at the gym, which is
right. Okay.
Yeah. So we have 1 hour, slots to work out. That's for me plenty. That's a plenty of time for me to, get my workout done. Because I focus on, 2 body parts for each of my days. For an example, if I'm working on my back, it's my back and my hamstrings. Those are the parts that I work, and the following day, maybe I'll work on my glutes and my shoulders. So there's always, I go with an intention and I get it done. And once again, working out smart.
You have to have a plan too.
Yeah, you have to have a plan. And then I know a lot of the times, especially men, they go in front of the mirror and they want to lift as heavy as they can. It's one thing to challenge yourself, and there's, another thing to be stupid. Stupidity, you don't let stupidity get in your way, that can injure you, right? They want to show off, so they go and lift more weights that their body can't handle, and they get injured. So, and then they take 3 months, 4 months to recover and, to rest, right? So, like Dhashi said, it's really important that you give your muscles proper time to recover. I don't work the same body part. I work all of my body parts. I work them twice a week, but it's never on the second consecutive day. It's always, 3 days later. So there's ample time for those body parts that I use to recover. In order for your muscle to grow, you need to allow time for recovery.
Rest that, that's you
and
need
you at the same time, you need proper nutrition. You need to feed your muscles, right? With food, not with synthetic crap.
Yeah.
Well said. And big hi to Normally, all the way from Aussie. I think, she's pretty late. She's up, it must be early wee hours in the morning in Australia. And Ricky says, thank you very much to both of you. Thank you, mate. Well done, Charith. Just the two super sisters for sharing their knowledge and experience. I wish a lot more females were watching this discussion. I hope, if they didn't, at least, they will watch it sometime. But, sometimes this is a problem we have in this country. We discussed about it. People say, what crap these guys are talking. We know better. Going back to that old tiki story, that they know best and we don't. And it's amazing. By the way, I must tell you girls, like, when I walk into the bar after training, I'm still in my, grubby training gear, and I just change my top, because you're not allowed to go with your tops to the bar, and you can wear your track bottoms, and just you walk in, you ask for a beer, and two guys walk up to you, just having a drink. These guys are specialized in IT and lawyers and I don't know what. They all tell me how I should conduct my coaching classes.
Exactly.
How boys should bat, and how I should train, and what fitness is. By the way, before we wind up, and I don't know whether you two girls, whether you are aware of what's going on in the country, that it's in the headline news that with the cricketers we had two disastrous tours to South Africa, and then recently against the English back home, the boys did not do well. It can happen, it's unfortunately, but then so many injuries. It was amazing. In one of the test matches, there were as much as five guys broke down. It was very hard to even watch boys going down like dominoes.
Wow.
It was, so fitness became an issue, and so yesterday they did an endurance and speed and endurance test. Like the new norm coming in for cricket is you got to run 2 kilometers in 8.35 minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
And lots of people say, walk in the park, mate. Just nothing. They should be able to run more. And then these are the guys who have not even worn a pair of trainers their entire life, passing judgment on professional athletes, how fast these boys should run. And it's amazing. That's what I'm saying. I mean, if I tell an IT guy, how to program a software or something,
Exactly.
it will sound ridiculous. I would listen to the guy with respect. So the people, going back to what I'm saying, what Ricky said, I don't know actually how many people will watch it, how many people will enjoy it, how many people will learn or endorse it. Unfortunately, that's how sad the ground reality is. The people will not accept, but it doesn't matter. I have learned over the years, and lots of people I inspired. I started my talk show. It just all happened. One day a friend of mine, a fellow coach, and we were having a chat, and he said, let's get on live, mate. So it was absolute piss up, that we decided to go on Facebook, and it became an overnight hit. Both of us were, absolutely out of our minds, talking rubbish on live on FB, people loved it. And then I thought, hey,
it's actually amazing what you do. It's amazing.
And it's all, just for the fun of it. And then I thought, hey, let me talk to, it's not only cricketers, so I've been blessed, I've been lucky, just a privilege, I would say, that I've spoken to lots of people across the board and different styles, and from social activists to controversial pastors to, but mainly sports people and people in entertainment, and there's so many that that it's wonderful. But it's always you find people telling these professionals what to do. That it's crazy. So I'm sure that you girls will also have that experience. People telling you what to do and what not to do.
They need to be able to walk in our shoes to actually know how much effort, time, and focus we put into this sport. It's not just to be on stage. It's a lifestyle. It has become a lifestyle now. By no means, I'm not even looking forward to being on stage because I love training so much. And when I'm ready to be on stage, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not my focus right now. Right now, my focus is to be mentally strong and to, motivate other women who are actually struggling.
Girls, you got to listen to your dad. Your old man says initially, I
was reading that. I actually read that, and it's true.
Yeah,
that's true. He gave us a lot of flack, with the first competition.
Yes,
I remember when I won my first. I placed first and won overall, and we had to stay over night at a different city, and my parents were watching my little guy. And both of my kids, and then I came home and my dad was in tears, and I was like, "Why are you crying?" Because you won. It's like that was the first time he actually showed some emotion that he really, that meant a lot. As a, coming from a father who was like, "Oh my goodness, shame on you guys," wearing those bikinis.
He actually gave me a lecture one day when I was prepping, and I went inside the house, and he just said, "Oh, women should be, why are you lifting such heavy weight? Women should be lifting heavy." I just turned around and walked back into my car.
That's so sweet coming from your old man. That's brilliant, Niloo. That's, how you said it, that's it's life is all about. And to get your father on this platform to, hear what he has to say. What answer we have, personally, I'm really proud of you, sir, for producing such two daughters and, such inspiring ladies. Thank you for watching, sir. And so is Imali, and thank you for your support. God, and as I said, being grounded will patent too, I believe. That you guys will have to, as I said, to comment on some of the when you find time.
I know
the spirit,
we will.
The spirit in comparison to some people who go to the Middle East and forget their mother tongue. Yeah, someone said that you guys haven't forgotten your Sinhalese. That's
we are Sinhalese. We will never forget.
Yeah,
absolutely. We've been here for what, over 31?
Over 30 years?
Almost, over 30 years, almost 32. And we speak to our parents in Sinhalese. We speak to each other in Sinhalese. And especially around our husbands, if we don't want them to find out something what we're saying, then we speak to each other.
Well, my sister is married to a Jamaican, so he would never understand Sinhalese.
No.
I'm, of course, married to a burger who understands somewhat Sinhalese.
Right.
So, but if we want our kids not to listen, if we want to say something behind our kids' back, then we speak to each other in Sinhalese.
Yeah, and it's so funny that Niloo is connected on and it says
Anthony Jones.
Anthony Jones, So I was in two minds whether to put it on the screen, and the people will think, "What the hell is that? Is she a lady boy or something?" Anthony Jones talking with
this is what weightlifting does, turn you into a man. There you go.
Exactly. So I was like, no, I would rather ask Niloo quietly what Anthony Jones is. You said he's Jamaican, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just
yeah,
man. It's the Irie. Because I must tell you that I was in Jamaica. I think it was before COVID. That was not year before, probably. Beautiful place, amazing. Spent some time, and we were so fortunate. We were in Montego Bay, such a lovely place, and spent a few weeks in Kingston. So, learned a lot. Their drinking and smoking habits. And it's pretty. But
all day. There's no limit. There's all day, right?
It's an amazing place. Say hi to Anthony for getting you online. It's brilliant that
I like Ricky's comment. Dhashi, you have done the correct thing. We burgers are the good ones.
Hurrah! Ricky, yeah. Ricky represents the burger community in Sri Lanka. Yeah, he's a very outspoken burger. He's one of the burgers who decided not to leave the country. That's the. I always say that I'm in all their burger columns. They've been accepted as an honorary member, and the biggest loss to Sri Lanka, because all our pretty girls, pretty ladies, they all migrated to Australia. So some of them went to Australia and some went to Canada. They're all over the world. So we are hoping and praying one day all those people who left us will come back, so that we can have more fun.
I think if the culture changes, probably people will come back.
Yeah. Who knows?
Culture is changing. I mean, but every culture you find one or two idiots who radicals, basically.
Yeah, one or two idiots that ruins everything for everybody. But so you know what? You gotta let it go. There are challenges and roadblocks, in everything you do, and you just got to have the.
Hang on, girls. This is becoming ridiculous. Well done, Charith, Dhashi, and Niloo. It was great watching the show. Good luck to you all. Looking forward to the next show. Some steroids.
Yes, sorry, we have to pass on that. We don't have steroids.
I know, yeah.
I get asked all the time. These are keyboard heroes sending me messages. What steroids you are? And I'm like, please let me know if you see. I've never seen how steroids look like. I don't even know in what form it comes. So, and I'm not interested.
Yeah, and that's once again. I remember right after having my son, my goal was to step back on stage. And when he was 8 months, I went and competed, up on stage, right after having a baby. And there were lots of, trolls at the gym. Of course, you can hear them talk behind your back as you pass by. And then one woman came right to me and asked, so what kind of juice are you doing? And I looked at her and I said, juice? Like, what do you mean? Like, juice? I don't drink juice. Like, I was totally confused. She caught me off guard. And then she laughed and she goes, no, so the rumor is you're juicing. So, and then I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And thought about it for a while. And then what she meant was, apparently there was a rumor going around that I was taking juice is considered, steroids, right? So, so that's what the talk was. Apparently there was a rumor going around because I made so much progress in such a short time after having a baby that I must be on steroids, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without steroids. So just have to be able to take it with a grain of salt sometimes.
Yep.
Ravin, yes, jokes apart, very thought-provoking and informative. Well done. Let all know that this video can be watched at your own leisure. Yes, you can. It's a simulcast on YouTube as well. So when anyone who's watching, please, go subscribe, whatever, you can watch it leisurely, either on Facebook, and because, my Facebook page gets sometimes, it's get very crowded, that's, I keep, it depends on the amount of drinks that I have every night, and I keep writing garbage, and Dhashi is having a good laugh sometimes, that I let it loose and I lose it. So rather, go on YouTube and watch it, you can watch it peacefully. That's not a problem. Before we wind up, girls, you said something interesting that I just picked up. You say no to fat burners? It's a waste of time?
That's actually, finding shortcuts.
And once again, it's for the liver,
yeah.
And it takes how long? I mean, it takes a long time for that crap to get out of your, out of your system. So, if you're going to rely on shortcuts, there are people that take that odd here and there, when there's only like few weeks left and they really want to reduce their body fat, down to a certain percentage. People do take it, but I don't think it's worth it, honestly. There's always side effects. Nothing comes without side effects, right?
Yep, it's true. So stick to your natural whatever,
Yeah, just do your regular routine. Cut down on the simple sugars, eat complex carbs, eat a lot of greens. Have lean protein. Just basic, simple stuff. And you can't say you can't find these. That's a poor excuse on my part, because you can always find. It's how you prepare it. I always say, plan ahead. Always plan your meals ahead so you don't end up eating junk or snack on unnecessary stuff. So it's planning. It's if you have a goal, you make a plan and decide why you made that plan and how you're going to actually execute it. You need consistency. You can't say I'm training today and taking 5 days off. No, if you decided to train 3 to 4 days a week, you stick to the plan. And if that's the time slot you're training, you stick to the time slot. It's a lot of things, especially if you have a goal in mind.
Yeah.
You can't have excuses.
If there's a will, there's a way always. Must tell you, Niloo, that your sister, before we started the show, just we had off chat, just before we went live, she said, would you make sure that I don't want to be on the show for more than 1 hour?
I don't. Oh my gosh, it's been like 2 hours.
Did you just realize that? She came on the show with the assurance given by me. No, I could not exceed more than 1 hour 10 minutes. But I said,
couldn't even sleep last night.
Yeah, so I said, listen, lady, if you're in the zone, I will let you talk, because you're in the zone that I will not interrupt. So the lady kept talking, and then you came along, and then suddenly, after almost
I got motivated. I have now somebody to back me up, right?
Yeah, it does wonders.
And hear me, I'm like, making breakfast, and I thought, that show is going on. Let me listen in, right? That's why I'm still in my pajamas. I had just, brushed my teeth and washed my face, and I'm like, let me listen in.
It's simple, isn't it? That I'm sure that all that anxiety and all the preparation what Dhashi went through, and you suddenly you like say, let me get on the show. I'm in my PJs. Who cares, mate?
She's a hero. Meanwhile, I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
My hair's not brushed. I'm still in my robe.
Ooh.
No, you don't have to. All you need to do is just be natural, and just that everything flows. I knew that it's not going to happen in 1 hour. That time, it's all these podcasts and vlogs and all that. Sometimes when people are in the groove, that it goes on, it flows naturally. That's the zone you're in, and it's a beautiful zone, and you don't feel the time pass, and just keep talking, and few people listen to you and few people don't. Some people like to comment and some don't. It does not matter, and as long as that you interact and you have a great chat, and that's it all about. Girls, tomorrow special day. Probably that we will get to Valentine's in another 3 hours from here. I think less than 2.5 hours. Any thoughts on Valentine's? Any special dedications? Whom you want to just perhaps your past boyfriends back home 30 years ago. No?
We have too many, I think.
We didn't live there long enough to have serious relationships with anybody, right?
No?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's
we were
sad.
kids. I was 13, Dhashi was 15. Yeah.
All right. So probably after the show, you might find that few messages in your inbox, people wishing you for so many Valentines, trying to get to know you. So if any adverse effects, that I'm not responsible. That after the show. That's a disclaimer. Whatever happens to you, like suddenly you find that stalkers and blah blah blah, and that's not.
It's funny that you say that, because every now and then you'll get on Messenger, some random person will try and message you. And, it unfortunately happens to be all Sri Lankan men. Most of them are married, and they will send you like some disturbing messages like, oh, I would like to see more of you. No, who are you? I don't even know you. Like, what makes you think that I'm going to allow for that to happen?
That topic with Charith. I try to be nice.
No, it's true. I know. I mean, it's very sad to hear, isn't it? Random people sending you messages. It's not the first time that the ladies complain, the harassment on social media. And you said an interesting thing. You reckon that it happens only from Sri Lankan men, or just like men in general?
But I would say 99%.
99%.
Yeah.
And even some politicians. I have got messages from politicians.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised there. But they're good context to have. That.
Thanks.
You shouldn't just discard it or discount it. Those guys can come pretty handy these days, and because everything in Sri Lanka, if you are not belong to any of these mafias and cartels, and it's nobody, and you'll end up like me talking to people virtually. That's the politicians run the show, so it's good to have those guys going, and they got the bucks as well. They probably will send you a free ticket to Canada. Perhaps they will say no quarantine, special privileges. Army will come to your to the tarmac and pick you up in a massive Defender or something with commandos guarding you. That's you should come visit Sri Lanka, the Paradise Island.
It's been a long time. We haven't been there since 2010.
Yeah, 2010 was our last visit.
Yeah, you should. People are laughing. People know what I talk about. They know the ground reality, what's happening in the country. I'm just kidding, guys. It's not too bad, and we still get to live. We still grateful to the forces. Actually, on a serious point of view, that people will take me very seriously, and thinking that the army is a joke. They are doing a great job, especially where the COVID. The patients and the controlling the whole pandemic. Must say that credit must go to the army, that they were brilliant, simply brilliant. They're manning COVID centers and now distributing the vaccines and all the hospitals and all. If not for army, we would have been in great trouble. So I'm just kidding. Just all great respect to them and all the medical workers up front. How's the vaccinations going, girls? Just before we wind up, any great news coming?
I think we have run low on vaccinations here.
You have what?
Yeah. Run low.
We're running low on vaccination.
Have you guys vaccinated?
It hasn't come to that. They're just going ahead with first responders, elderly, and nurses, doctors, frontline workers first.
Right.
And then, I'm a teacher, so I have a feeling that we're going to be the next batch to be vaccinated. Okay. I kind of stand on the fence when it comes to the vaccination.
You won't be taking it.
Yeah. I want to have the choice and not being forced. So,
are you given a choice?
Not for teachers, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Dhashi, what's your view? If you are given an opportunity, will you take the vaccine?
No, I wouldn't. If I have a choice, I wouldn't. But the only reason I would take is if we have to travel and they say you have to be vaccinated, then we are going to be in deep trouble.
That's what's happening. I think that will come to that. Without the vaccination, you will not be able to get out of the house. I saw it coming, and I don't know whether you girls can remember, because I spent some time out of the country. I lived in Africa, and for a long period of time, and I still remember. Lots of people don't know that. In order to travel to certain parts of Africa, that you are required to take a yellow fever vaccination. That's a very tedious operation. That the whole procedure was to go to a place at the port. They were the only ones who were authorized to give the vaccination, and then you are given like something like a passport. You can enter Africa only with that passport.
Oh,
So
wow, yes.
So I believe that this whole COVID thing is coming to that. If you don't carry that whatever certificate or the passport along with you, some sort of proof to say that you're vaccinated, I believe you might not even be able to enter a supermarket. That's where we are heading, unfortunately. That's girls. I think what did Ravin says? The vaccines that were ordered by Canada were taken off
to give USA. Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, here we
Thanks,
go.
Ravin, for that.
Yeah, this is what is happening around the world. People fighting for vaccines, and it's very sad. I hope one day this, we'll get over this COVID, and that you guys will get to visit Sri Lanka or this,
yes.
that whether we can come along to Canada. It's so sad. I just got my USA visa, and the bloody thing is just lying there. I mean, I can't do anything. I can't travel. It's life.
My mom is saying our vaccines have been donated to less privileged countries, including Sri Lanka. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, I'm not too sure. That's cute. I was going to ask Niloo, how old are your kids?
This one is 6, and then I have a 15-year-old.
All right. What's his name?
What's your name? Reed.
Reed. How's it going, Reed?
Good.
Oh, good to have you on the show, son. Your mom's been a star. She has entertained a lot of people, and I hope that people will remember Niloo. Niloo, once again, thanks for being on the show. It's very short notice.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And next time, if I ever do, attend one of your shows, I'll try to make sure that I'm ready out of my pajamas.
You're fine. You're a star. You're a natural. You did good, and that's thanks for your time and being on the show. And say hi to your husband and the lovely kids. Hopefully we'll see you again soon, Niloo. And star, Madam Perera, Ni Perera now Bartholomew. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, I've done my homework and I got it right. I feel so sorry for your husband for Do you know what she did to him?
I told him not to come close to me right now.
She locked himself, locked him upstairs, saying, "Don't come down." The poor guy, must be. He would have finished his 6-pack. Probably, that he's on the 7th or 8th beer by now. Just.
And he's probably waiting to have his breakfast.
I know. I think so.
You brought your cat as well.
Oh my goodness, this boy. Yeah.
So good, girls. It was, as Ravin says, well done, girls. Good luck. And Ravin, thanks a lot.
Thank you,
and
Ravin.
I must tell you,
Ravin has been a tremendous support and a mental support, actually. I've been messaging him because I was nervous, Ravin and Deepa. So.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Ravin sent me a message prior to I went online, and he said, make sure that you watch these girls back. I was like, okay, and it's very, very, very nice of him. I think he consciously made an effort to be on the show and make sure that everything went smoothly.
Oh, thank you, Ravin. And Ravin's wife is avian, and she's from Ave Maria. I haven't met her personally, so I'm looking forward to meeting her one day, and Ravin as well.
Inshallah, girls, all in good time, and hopefully that. Thanks once again, Dhashi, and keep training. All the very best, and please,
thank you.
Keep your fan club informed. When you're next time when your the competitions are up, we'll all
definitely.
We'll support you, and all the very best.
Thank you for having us tell our stories, which was really important to us. We wanted to reach out to so many females out there and let them know that do what makes you happy.
Any parting words, Niloo?
Same here. I just want to echo the same words. Just remember to do you. Just don't listen to everybody else. I mean, that's basically,
when it comes to health, you have to take care of yourself. So make health and fitness a priority. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take hours. That should be your main priority, especially if you have a family too. It's longevity, right? And you want to be able to take care of others. If you're healthy, then you can take care of others. So you come first, even though it may sound selfish. Priority should be given to you, and then everybody else.
No, it's not, like if you're flying, if you're a frequent flyer, you probably would have heard the safety instructions. First, take care of yourself before you take care of the others.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. By the way, God bless you too. Ricky Sims, thanks a lot. You've been brilliant throughout the show. And everyone else who are tuned in, and have a fantastic evening if you are in Sri Lanka. And have a great Valentine's, whatever, be with your loved ones, and love to all. Thanks for the support, and keep supporting, keep viewing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Deepa Ravindran, well done. Thanks, girl. Thanks for all your support. Yeah, you rock, Deepa. And by the way, have you seen Deepa's transformation for the last 2 years?
Yes, I've been following her.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well done, Deepa. And happy Valentine's. Take care. Catch you guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Stay blessed and stay safe and be good. Yeah. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye.
God bless all.